Welcome to another episode of Draw Badly with me. Today we are drawing Shuri. She has got this interesting, sort of intricate hair design with these beautiful braids and a very intricate costume as well. So this will be interesting to draw. I've kind of been putting it off because it's a lot of little details, but let's go for it anyway. I always start with little obvious shapes, like the top of the head, and basically move down from there. And I have been taking an art class recently that's taught me a little bit better about how to look at things and figure out whether there is light or shadow or anything that can kind of give you clues as to what shape things are. As you can see on my mechanical pencil, I don't have an eraser, and I got a small putty eraser, which I thought was going to be called a kneaded eraser, but same thing, I guess. I cut a little piece off of it because it just makes life a little bit easier when you don't have to rub the entire thing on the whole page, and that way you can actually point it at things, which I don't know if you're supposed to do or not, but it works really well, so I would recommend it personally. Shuri's really amazing. I thought that all the comic book characters would have been from like back in the day, earliest the 80s, but turns out Shuri's from like the early 2000s along with Black Panther and everything else, which is incredible. I had no idea. One other thing that's really cool about Shuri is that her Wikipedia entry is hilarious just because of one particular sentence. It gives you the whole kind of history of who she is and what she does, and then it just says the very last sentence of the paragraph is, "She is a genius." So good. Perfect. I really like drawing these little braids on her hair, but I ended up ruining them, as you'll see. I did all this like little crosses to kind of indicate that they were braids, and for the bigger ones on the top, I kind of did these little lines, which I thought would look really nice because it distinguishes them from the rest of the smaller braids that are in the front. One other thing that I just found out about Shuri is that she always wanted to be Black Panther, and how amazing would that be? That would be so cool. They kind of refer to it a little bit in the movie where when T'Challa's doing the challenge, she kind of goes, "Oh, and I challenge you too." Nah, just kidding. And it's like, no, she totally would have, maybe. I don't know. I haven't read the comic, but every time I am curious about what's going on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I always try and figure out if the comics are similar or if they've taken inspiration from the comics, and most of the time they have, in a little way or in a big way. For example, spoiler for Endgame, if you have seen it, you probably already know that Captain America is worthy and can wield Mjolnir. So yeah, just stuff like that was already in the comic, because I think you've already seen there's probably like pictures of it that are going around, like a screen cap from the comic book, and it's just so cool, and I really want to get into it, but I can imagine that once I buy one comic, I'm probably going to want all of them, and it's going to become a very expensive and space-consuming habit of mine to kind of start collecting them, which will probably look really nice on a shelf, but I don't want to have something that it'll be on my read later list, or it just won't ever actually be read, or if I read it, I'll only read it once. So yeah, it's my dilemma a little bit for now. Oh man, by the way, drawing these little kind of details on her was kind of fun, but also a bit difficult. I thought I chose the right colors, but for her hair, I think I went a little bit too dark, which meant that you can't really see any of the little lines that I drew to make it look like braids, which is just super sad. I think it looked better when I didn't color it in. But actually, yeah, I think I'm quite proud of this one. I think I'm getting better, so it's still not, I don't think it's a good drawing, but it is kind of alright enough that I think people will be able to tell what it is without me trying to point out exactly what it is. I mean, there's a lot of clues. There's, you know, the little panthery hand thingies. Are they guns? I don't really know. Let me know if you know what they are in the comments below. There's a trick that I learned, I can't remember where. If you want to do gold, which her sort of, the little details on her legs are kind of gold, apparently you can put green on top and that makes it look a little bit gold, but I don't think it really worked because I was using green for the sort of cover that she's got on her waist. But I don't know, it kind of looks alright to me. Maybe I'm too close to the situation. But yeah, I really enjoyed doing this drawing. It was so cool. The little panther arms, I didn't really know what to do with them. I just kind of colored them in gray. But yeah, I used my skin tone pro marker in a coral to do her skin tone, and it ended up working alright. I think obviously it's just a little bit lighter, and doing shadows with it, I just didn't really want to risk it to make it look patchy. But yeah, this is it. This is Shuri, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked this then and you haven't seen any of the other videos I did, also did Scarlet Witch and yeah, and Black Widow. So if you are curious to see more of my bad drawings, please do. It was nice to see you, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!